Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So it touched you, huh, Bilal, to hear about Hazrat Umar's life in the khutbah. We are knowing about so many people, their lives, their experiences, but we're not knowing too much about those ones that Allah loves, that the Prophet loves. It's something very wrong there. And Hazrat Umar, it's mentioned in the khutbah, is one of the most beloved one to the Prophet ﷺ and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the one that the Prophet ﷺ said, the khutbah did not mention, if there was going to be another Prophet after me, it will be Umar. And to hear something like that, it must touch the believer, because this is not just a story, a history lesson, but this is also something, because you can also read that from a book, but it's not going to affect you the same way. It's not going to, because it is a book, because we don't know who is writing that book. What is his relationship to Hazrat Umar, that he is telling the story of Hazrat Umar? And what is his relationship to his Creator and to his Prophet? So many times people are writing books in these days just to make money, you know. So there is no spirit there. It's not going to touch you. But if you hear something that is coming from someone who loves Hazrat Umar, then Hazrat Umar loves that one. And when you hear, it's going to affect you too. So yeah, it is important to know. But it is important to know from the right sources, from the right people, because there's a lot of confusion these days. The Muslims at that time, it was going through a very, very difficult situation. There was no real support. In fact, the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he made the prayer. There are two Umars. One is Hazrat Umar ibn Khattab, that's his full name. The other one is who? Abu Jahl. His name is also Umar. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ praying, say, Ya Rabbi, make one of these to be my supporter. So you have to understand now the maqam of Hazrat Umar also. Is the greatest supporter, or he was going to be the greatest opposition to the Prophet ﷺ. And Allah accepted Hazrat Umar ibn Khattab. Abu Jahl became Abu Jahl, more ignorant. But Hazrat Umar, as the khutbah is saying, after he believed, he went straight to Abu Jahl. And the khutbah is not saying, but he hit him, he punched him with his, and it split his ear. And Hazrat Umar then went back to the Prophet ﷺ, because at that time it was hidden. Islam was hidden. They cannot go out to worship Allah. They were going to get killed and tortured and punished. Hazrat Abu Bakr went to the Kaaba to pray, and they beat him up so badly, and he came back. And Hazrat Abu Bakr is not from the lower level of society. He's one of the leaders. If they can do to the leader, imagine what they can do to the rest of the Muslims. So they had no support. But when Hazrat Umar, he accepted Islam, and after he punched Abu Jahl's face, he came back and he said, Ya Rasulullah, are we not in the haqq? He says, yes. Is not Allah with us? He says, yes. Then why are we hiding? Why are we afraid? He went out and he started worshipping. From that support, then all the early Muslims, they had so much strength, they had so much support from one man. From one man, just like our Shaykh, from one man, thousands, millions, they find support and rest from that. From that fairness of Hazrat Umar, who is known as a Faruq, Faruq Azam, the greatest Faruq. Faruq means Furqan. Furqan means to divide, because he split, divide what is haq is clear and what is batil is clear. He's not mixing it up. He got his name, he got a title. Allah gave him the title of Faruq. So, to be just, you have to know what is right and you have to know what is wrong. And from that, the Ottoman Empire took. Because Hazrat Umar is representing Adalat, justice. And although the name is after Hazrat Osman's name, but it is resting on the foundation of running the empire through Hazrat Umar. And the engine, the gas for that empire, the spirituality, is from Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, the Naqshbandi way, through the support also of Hazrat Ali. So it is complete now, the Osmanli tradition, you understand? So the early Muslims had a very big support coming to them, and they were very happy, because for so many years Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested them, and they were still hiding, and they were punished and they were oppressed, although they were standing in the way of haqq. We check ourselves, we think we are Muslims, but we cannot bear a little bit of difficulty. We cannot bear a little bit of criticism. We cannot bear a little bit of challenge and test, and we get very depressed, demoralized, angry with each other and with Allah. But the Muslims, the early ones, and there are still groups of that continuing, they are always holding on to that way, and they're always thankful to Allah, understanding what is the wisdom behind it. So yes, because our Shaykh Sahib al-Saif, of course, Hazrat Umar, he has a maqam, and that maqam, it is always occupied after he's gone by a saint, by a friend of Allah, and that maqam was occupied by our Shaykh, representing justice. The maqam of Hazrat Umar, it didn't just come out like that too, because that every Sahabi is holding on to the maqam of a prophet. They are not prophets, but they have that station. And the station of adalat, of justice, of law, is the station of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. So, our Shaykh is always advising us, look and find your role model amongst the 124,000 Sahabis. Find one that you like. That, not that you like or you don't like everyone you must love, but there is someone there, one that is pulling you, that you find a lot of familiarity with. Now sit and study them. Find out more about them. Be familiar with them. That time when you are doing that, you're going to get their blessings too, inshallah. Then their life will become alive in your life, inshallah. Amen. We are remembering, I was just remembering him yesterday pretty strongly. He came, alhamdulillah. Al-Fatiha.